There's a bunch of games coming out that are like Genshin Impact. I wanted to showcase them, so here we go. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Coming up with the first game. This game is called Unending Dawn. It's an open world Unreal Engine 5 Souls-like anime game. When this appeared, people were really surprised. I don't think we ever heard anything like this. Genshin meets Dark Souls. That's basically it. We also see a bunch of boss fights in there, interesting abilities. Maybe there's gonna be gacha in there too. Ultimate abilities as well. There it is. And yeah, maybe it's gonna be like multiple characters that have different abilities and stuff. Mixing this up with the Dark Souls games could be really interesting and something we could look forward to. Next up is of course Zenless Zone Zero. Now this is in particular pretty close to Genshin because it's even of the same creators, which is HoYoverse. It should be coming out soon. This game was already playable many times. There was a lot of betas. And yeah, it is a team play based game like Genshin. You swap around characters, but instead of an open world, it is more like hub based. So you just jump into dungeons and you basically just kill enemies there. Yeah, you can see mini games here as well, but I think this game is more focused on gameplay. Fighting mechanics just look way more in depth than I've seen in Genshin before. It just looks really, really good. The style is also pretty unique. It got this urban looking, sci-fi looking style to it that I've rarely seen in a lot of games. Also there's furries. I don't know who likes these kind of things. Not me, but there surely is an audience for this as well. Yeah, if you're a furry, let me know in the comments. How about that? Let's move on. Next game. This game is called Project Mugen and it's been blowing up lately. It has been announced only 2 days ago. Open world action RPG game. You can travel around like Spider-Man, it seems like. You can wall run. You also have multiple characters in your team and every character has its own abilities, etc. I don't know if it's gonna be gacha, but it much likely looks like it. Just a really cool looking game and I don't think we've ever seen this type of quality and travel mechanics in any anime open world game. So this could be quite a thing to look forward to in the future. Also, we don't know if there's gonna be multiplayer in there, but I just really hope there is. I also strongly believe if there would be a strong Genshin competitor ever, they should focus on co-op features because this is one thing that Genshin is really lacking. And not forgetting about the end game. The game should have really good end game and a lot of end game, and Genshin can pack their things and go. Alright, next game. This game is called Wuthering Waves and it is also a team-based open world action anime RPG. And this is also by the creators from Punishing Grey Raven. I think they're called Kuro Games and they pretty much are known for the really fleshed out action-based combat. A lot of people say they make the best combat mechanics in the whole gacha industry. Also, of course, have the burst animations. This is becoming a normal thing for every gacha game, kinda. You can also expect a little bit of a challenge here. So if you're like used to a little bit more easygoing gameplay like Genshin, this is gonna be a little bit more challenging and might be the game for you. Also a really cool style. Some people might say it looks a little bit bland. There's not a lot of colors in this game, but it also looks a little bit more mature, which could also be a good thing for a lot of people. Not everything has to look like Fortnite. Going to the next game. And this is kind of the first big anime brand that tries to copy the Genshin formula, which is really interesting for me because I've seen this anime. This is the 7 Deadly Sins origin. It is pretty much a Genshin clone, but with the 7 Deadly Sins characters, probably a unique 7 Deadly Sins story. You can also see multiple characters in your team, burst animations, action, combat. There's also an open world. This is probably also gonna be gacha. I'm not 100% sure. Very much looks like that. I think there's also another 7 Deadly Sins game already on mobile, which is also gacha. So they're probably gonna stick with this formula because it gives them the most revenue, right? But yeah, you can see the traveling a little bit. You can also go underwater. Yeah, it looks refreshing. Also some puzzles here and there. It is pretty much Genshin with 7 Deadly Sins. So moving on to the next game. And this is probably one of the bigger ones out there, which is a really big game already on mobile, which is Arknights. If you don't know Arknights, it's probably in the top 10 of every mobile gaming app market store. You will see Arknights probably somewhere in the top 10 list. And yeah, they are making, it seems like, open world action combat game. There's sadly not much information yet. It looks fabulous. This was already shown, I think, 2 years ago. The gameplay that I'm looking at right now, 1 year ago, sorry. story. We might see more of it next year or in the next 2 years. I like what I'm seeing, and since this is the creators of Arknights, we can expect something really big because they have a lot of money. They are also known for the really good character design, and they might bring this whole thing to the next level. The next game is Granblue Fantasy, which is coming out February 1. This is, I think, the only game that has already a release date and where we know on which platforms it's gonna be. This is a game that has been in development for a pretty long time. We've known about this game for a long time. It is finally coming out early 2024. And yeah, it is a little bit like Genshin, but it's way more single player based. It is literally a single player game. But yeah, it is the Granblue universe. If you watch the anime, it was a pretty good one. I liked it. You might want to give it a try before you play this game because you don't know these characters, but it is actually pretty decent anime. Not 100% sure how the gameplay works. I didn't play it myself, but looking at it, I think you also have group team play mechanics and it's fast paced. This is also probably not a live service game. You just play the whole story and until the end and it's over. There's probably gonna be some DLCs here and there, but I don't think it's gonna be that type of live service like Genshin is. I might be wrong though. I'm excited to see more of this and to see the reviews about it when it comes out. Next game is Blue Protocol. If you didn't already hear about it, it is an MMO actually, massively multiplayer online game. And there's multiple classes, it is action combat, sadly not completely open world, it is more like hub based. There is big open worlds, but there's like loading screens between them sometimes. And there's also dungeons you can do with co-op, and it seems to be a pretty social game as well. Gameplay looks good, and I'm pretty much down to try it when it finally comes out to global. The next game was called Project Barbecue in the past. It got cancelled and pretty much changed to a different game, which is now called Arad Chronicle Kazan. And yeah, you can see it right there. It is a Souls-like anime game. Not a lot of information, sadly. This game might be looking different now because this actually got cancelled, and it's gonna be more like Souls-like because this was previously planned as like MMO kind of thing, and now we're gonna get like a Souls-like single-player experience. But you can look forward to this because it's the creators of Dungeon Fighter Online, and they have a lot of money. This might be something different as well. This is called Dungeon Fighter Overkill, which is a success, I guess, for people that played Dungeon Fighter Online. It is kind of like a mix of 2D and 3D, what I've seen. Might be something for you. I know it's a little bit different than Genshin. It is still an anime RPG, and it's probably also gonna be free to play, so might be something you guys want to check out in the future as well. I've been always interested in Dungeon Fighter Online. It just looked a little bit outdated for me to play or to start playing it, and this might be the thing where actually gonna check it out for the first time. I'm excited for this. And yeah, this was the last game on my list that I'm actually looking forward to, that are kind of like Genshin, anime-styled RPGs that I'm excited for. Which game are you the most excited for? Are you gonna check out the games that I've listed? Which games did I forget to put in the list? You can let me know in the comments as well. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more this type of content, make sure to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, and I see you in the next one. Peace.